Hey guys, so it's been a little bit, but I'm back at it with a get ready with me video. Sorry. I'm over here looking at myself in the mirror, just looking at how like this wig is a little crusty. Today I'm just gonna do a simple get ready with me. I have been kind of racking my brain about what I want to do next with my channel, like what videos I want to make. I really like the cosplay and commentary video I did last time. I'm just looking for like a movie or story that I want to talk about before I do my next one. But I've like been trying to figure out something that's more chill that I can do, and a get ready with me kind of just fit. I really wanted to do like something more eventful, but to be honest, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling like doing the most right now on my YouTube channel, so I'm just gonna do a get ready with me. Also, if you notice something, my audio quality should be a lot better. I bought a new mic. The last video I did, the commentary and cinema, the audio quality had me fucked up. Like the whole time I was editing that video, I was just like, the echo! You probably will still hear some echo, but this is much better. I got like a whole little setup now. So yeah, I'm a professional YouTuber, so if you follow me on any of my socials, you'll know that I've actually been a busy girl. I've been doing a lot of theatrical looks on my TikTok, on my Instagram, and on my Twitter. I've been posting a lot there. So I have been active, just not with YouTube, because like I said, YouTube's a different type of content. It's a different like creative process, and I just wasn't sure what I wanted to post on here. But I want to take some really simple Instagram photos. Like my Instagram right now is full of my theatrical looks, which I love, but I want some more like natural photos right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be doing the bare minimum of my makeup and just talking to you guys while I get ready to do Instagram photos. I'm in my pajamas, all right? I know some of these people be coming up on here and they put a whole fit on. These are my pajamas, and you're gonna see my pajamas until I'm done, okay? So I don't wanna hear shit about it. Yeah, so I got like a handful of things I want to talk to you guys about today. Starting with like my more spiritual side. I'm gonna put on my moisturizer and my sunscreen before I do anything else, because I might go outside and take photos, so gotta protect the skin. Yeah, Chiron's going into retrograde, or it's gone into retrograde actually. I think it went in like around July, but I feel like I've just really felt it these past few weeks, or couple weeks. It's really been the past 2 weeks. I just had a realization that a lot of issues I have with myself, or a lot of issues that end up happening like outside of myself, are because of the issues I have with myself, if that makes any sense. So by that I mean my Chiron is in Virgo. I don't know everything there is to know about astrology. I just know these little basic things. So if you don't know what Chiron is, I'll link it down below, but it's pretty much telling you the most about yourself. Chiron has to do a lot with like your subconscious lessons that you really need to learn in this life, but these are the harder lessons, the harsher lessons, just lessons with like one of your biggest issues in life, most likely. And my Chiron is in Virgo, and so it being a Virgo pretty much means one of my hardest lessons that I have to learn in this lifetime is that perfection doesn't exist. I need to stop being my own worst critic. And with people who have a Virgo or a Chiron in Virgo, a lot of that also has to do with kind of having imposter syndrome, because you never feel like you are as good as everyone might think that you are. Like you just never see the worth in a lot of your accomplishments because it's never enough. Like it wasn't perfect, so you don't see them as accomplishments. That's kind of the vibe of Virgo Chiron. There's a lot more there. It's a self-esteem thing. People who have Virgo and Chiron don't like, it's really hard for them to love themselves, to be honest, because of the perfectionist that we all have in us. So I have been feeling that a lot lately, and it's been something else. It's been something else. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm gonna put that much makeup on because she's glowing today. It's also this lighting, but but also it's the sunscreen, and just my skin's been doing so good. So I'm gonna do the smallest amount of makeup. But yeah, so I've just been feeling that this past 2 weeks of my Virgo being in Chiron, my Chiron being in Virgo. I'm dyslexic. Did I tell y'all that? Y'all know that. It's been a good experience actually, like realizing this and like journaling about it and just kind of being more honest with myself about my issues. I recently went through some changes professionally, and I am proud of myself because I went through those changes because I finally realized that I deserve better, that whole vibe. And it kind of all related back to my Chiron. to my Virgo, my Chiron being in Virgo, and how like I was doing something in my career life, like in my professional life, just to prove somebody else wrong. And it was funny because what I was trying to prove them wrong about, I didn't even want. So it ended up making me feel miserable. And mind you, this happened in like a span of a week. It didn't happen like in a month or something. This hasn't been ongoing. It literally happened so quickly. But pretty much I found myself going out of my way to go do something I actually didn't even want to do. I was just doing it because I felt like I wasn't enough because somebody else was projecting that narrative onto me. So yeah, I'm proud of myself though, because I came out of it very quickly. I quickly was like, wait a minute, I don't even want to do this. I'm not even happy. Like, I was trying to force myself to be somebody that I'm not, and trying to force myself to fit this like category that I was never meant to fit. All because one person was making it seem or telling me or like trying to like play the narrative that I couldn't do this because I just was too either lazy. I have this like fear of being lazy. I don't know if anyone else has that fear. Comment down below if you do. I have this fear of just like being labeled as someone who's lazy, and that just like someone who like, I don't know, who just doesn't deserve the things that they have, or just doesn't work hard enough, so they don't deserve what they have. I have this fear of that, and a lot of it comes from my childhood. But you know, I feel like that also made it like really hard for me to not overdo stuff, even things I didn't even want to do and didn't care about doing. But yeah, that happened. It was interesting. I literally did this thing for like a week and then I quit because I realized it's not something I want to do. And I was just trying to prove somebody wrong, which at the end of the day, like, who are they to me anyway? Like, they're not anybody who actually understands me as a person, and that's okay because I don't really expect them to understand me as a person because they're not me. The moment I felt any kind of like, damn, I don't want to do this, or like, damn, this is really draining to me, I left. And I love that because I think I finally realized that I can leave. I don't have to stay and do something I don't want to do. I can change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. So that was a fun little realization. I came on here with like ideas of things I wanted to talk about, but honestly, I'm lost right now. I've just talked so much and I like didn't write things down today. So hey, if you have ADHD like me, you know that's a big mistake. Like, I wanted to talk about my perfectionist issues because I have them. I have them like a bitch. They will literally stop me. My perfectionist mentality like will literally stop me from creating like the most beautiful things, all out of fear that it's not going to be enough, it's not going to be perfect, so I shouldn't even try to do it. I think I've actually done a lot. I've gotten a lot better in these past few, I've gotten a lot better in the past few years. Did anyone tell y'all? I feel like nobody really tells you what happens when you hit my age. So I'm 27, right? I don't think anyone really prepared me for this part of my life. Okay, and let me explain this. And I'm not talking about things online or like media, because media lies to you. I don't think that I was ever really told about this time of my life. I'm 27 and I don't have many friends because it's not really a bad thing to me. It's just a fact. I don't have any friends. I have like 2 or 3. And I've had those friends for most of my life. These are like my ride or dies. I love them to pieces. And I don't know if you saw my last video, then you know that I just went through like kind of a friend breakup. And it's just like really provoked a lot of thought in me about what this time of my life is. And I talked to other people recently who are around the same age as me, and they tell me the same thing, where it's like apparently around this time in your life you end up losing a lot of people who you considered friends. Or you don't, which is not a big deal. It's not that you have to, but for me personally and for people that I know, you lose friends at this age, and it's because this is kind of the turning point for me, at least in my life, where I'm prioritizing other things. I've already gone through the younger part of my 20s. I've already gone through the finding myself part of my 20s. I mean, you're always finding yourself, but you know what I mean? Like when you're in your like young 20s, it's very strong. The urge to find yourself is like, it's all encompassing. I'm at that point where I've gone through that. I've experienced a lot of crazy shit. I've experienced a lot of amazing shit. I've experienced so many things that have helped me understand the kind of person that I am and the things that I want in my life, the things I don't want in my life. And when I say I experienced it, like I had to learn through experience for some of these things. Like I wish that I was the kind of person to listen I am now, but I wish then I was the kind of person to listen when I was initially told, because I had to go through a lot of experiences to really understand myself more. I'm switching over to pomades mainly because my brow pencil is like all gone, like there's nothing left in it, but also like you get so much more in pomade and I don't have to keep going to the store, so I'm trying to find the right color for me. But anyway, yeah, I've gone through all that stuff in my life, and now I kind of just, I know what I want, I know what I don't want. And I know that there are certain friendships that I recognize that weren't good for me. There are certain friendships that I recognize that I just wasn't gonna find any value in. And it's just, and I'm at that point where I'm like, damn, like I don't have many friends, and I want friends that are going to be in my life for the rest of my life. Is that bad? I don't know. It kind of sounds clingy, but I don't mean it that way. I'm actually a very low maintenance friend, but I want friends that are gonna be here for me for the rest of my life, and I can be there for them for the rest of their lives. I want friends that like my children are gonna know. You know, I feel like a lot of people that you meet in your 20s, like your children aren't gonna know them, right? Like, does that make any sense? Like a lot of people that you meet in your like young 20s, they're not gonna be there when you start like settling, not settling down, but you start settling into your life. That's what I'm gonna say, because settling down just sounds weird. But when you start settling into your life and you start thinking about where you know want to go next, if you're gonna be with somebody, if you are thinking about having kids, what that's gonna be like, and just where you're gonna go with this next journey of your life, I feel like a lot of people you meet in your 20s aren't gonna be there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of at that point where I'm realizing, dang, nobody really tells you about this part of your life where I'm at peace. I'm very happy is the thing. I'm actually very much at peace with the life I have right now. I'm very much at peace with the people I've decided to keep into my life. I'm at peace with my atmosphere that I've created for myself. I'm very happy with that. But now I'm almost eager. You know what it is? It's my soul tribe. Like I feel like I couldn't, even if I came across my soul tribe when I was in my younger 20s, I wouldn't really be able to connect with them the way that I would be able to connect with them now. Just purely based off of experiences that I needed to have. But now that I've had those experiences, I'm excited to find my soul tribe. But because in my mind it's a soul tribe thing, there are so many people who just don't make the cut. When you start to realize that there are people who were never meant to be long-term, like, you know, like forever term, not long-term, but forever term. There are people who you meet in your life that are there to teach you something. Whether it's a good or a bad thing, they're there to teach you something. And they're not, once they're done teaching you, sometimes y'all can stay friends or whatever, but a lot of times you don't. And then you find yourself in your, you know, late 20s and you're just like, damn, okay, I've learned the lesson, I've accepted the lesson, I've let these people go. I've got so much space now, like for love, for love and friendship, and I'm excited for it. I feel like your young 20s are the most selfish years that you can have for yourself, and it's a good thing for it to be that way. Like you're supposed to be centered on like what you're doing for yourself, to be honest, in your 20s, and if you're not, you're gonna probably regret it. If you don't do it in your 20s, you're gonna end up doing it at a time, in my opinion, in your life where it's more inconvenient. So if you're gonna be selfish and do things selfishly, do it in your 20s, in your young 20s at that. And I'm not saying selfish in a negative connotation, by the way, because I had to learn that selfishness isn't always negative. I did those things for myself. I learned lessons because I did those things for myself, and now I'm here, ready for the next part of my life. And I feel like I'm kind of just waiting for it. You know, I'm doing my own thing. I'm chilling. And I'm just waiting for those new experiences, but it's just a weird place to be in. Like, I don't know about other people, but in my young 20s, I couldn't see what my 30s were gonna look like. I couldn't see what my late 20s were gonna look like. And now that I do, it's kind of just like, what's going on? Like, you know what it is? You know what's so shocking about this is how happy I am. You meet a lot of people. I met a lot of people, that's what I'm gonna say. I've met a lot of people in their 30s and in their late 20s that are very unhappy, okay? Very unhappy. And they project that onto you and make you feel like, you know, once your 20s is over, everything else is over. Like you're old. Like all of a sudden, the word old hits different. Let me stop trying to talk while I do this, the hell? But yeah, all of a sudden, like the word old hits different. Now, all of a sudden people say old and they look at you. And it's kind of like, oh damn. I mean, I guess people, I don't know. You ever met somebody in their like late 20s or early 30s and they start projecting like all these ideas of what it is onto you. Like for some people, when they hit their 30s or they got close to their 30s, they felt like everything was a waste. They felt like all of their aspirations were over. In some form, in my naive mind when I was younger, like in my young 20s, I thought that was the truth. I think I want to like go over my Cupid's bow today. I love my Cupid's bow. I love my Cupid's bow, but I've been really feeling this like doll lip thing where people kind of erase their Cupid's bow with their liner to make like a perfectly round shape. So I think I'm gonna do that today. That I feel like maybe in my 20s, that's kind of what I was expecting because that's what everyone was projecting onto me. But as I'm approaching, it looks like I have a mustache. As I'm approaching, you know, my 30s, I'm 27 and this year's damn near almost over, so I'm close. All I feel is excitement. And I think that's what's flabbergasting. It's the mixture of the fact that all the people that I had in my life when I was younger are now kind of gone. And I kind of have a blank slate, like a fresh slate. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm excited. I hate that younger me in my like early 20s saw this transition as something that's supposed to be dreadful. I'm gonna go with my smashbox. Yes, honey. This is what this is called. Yes, honey. I'm gonna try that and see how that looks. I don't know. I want to change the narrative of that is what I'm trying to say, because damn, I'm so excited. I did the work, you know? I did the work in my 20s to enjoy. My Cupid's bow is so strong, I really don't think I can really erase it, to be honest. It might just be my lack of skill. No, you can see my Cupid's bow just fine. But I'm just so excited. You know why also? You know what it is? It's also that like, I remember all too well, because it's not like I'm that far away from my young 20s. I remember all too well what it was like when I didn't really know enough about myself. I didn't have my boundaries set yet. I was letting people do whatever they wanted. I was just all over the place. No, my Cupid's bow is gonna be here, is what she's saying. And then I need to stop trying to get rid of her. All right, well, I tried. I remember all too well what it's like to be in your young 20s and trying to figure shit out and trying to like experience life and I remember that. And yes, it's a coming of age type of year. Those years are coming of age years. Your early 20s is another puberty. It's really a whole another puberty. As much as I can reminisce about it, I don't want to do it again. And I'm excited because I did all the work and I'm finally here. I finally made it. I'm finally the person that I worked hard to be. I finally learned those lessons that I had to learn when I was in my younger 20s, like 21 and 22 and 23. 23 was a year, bitch. 24, 25. Like, I finally learned those lessons and I feel so good. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting to feel this good about aging, really. I mean, the way our society portrays aging in general is so bad. Like, it's horrible how much anxiety I've seen some women go through just at the thought of turning 30 or getting close to their 30s. Around the time I came back, actually from New York, I recently had someone try to weaponize my age against me. Like, somebody like brought up my age in like a derogatory way. And to be honest, I snapped. I was very triggered. And then when I thought about it, I hated how triggered I was by it, because what the fuck am I worried about? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I'm almost 30 and I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself, because some people don't make it to 30. And that's kind of sad to think about it, but it's true. Some people don't make it to 30. And I'm so grateful to have like these years of wisdom. It's so cool. So yeah, I don't know. I wanted to talk about it because I don't really hear enough of this version of the conversation. It's usually like, okay, you're hitting your 30s now, ladies. Somebody was like, yeah, like you're fine in your 20s, but once you get to your like close to your 30s, you should start like getting Botox. I was like, are you talking to me? I was like, no, what? I mean, I don't know. It's different for everybody. I'm not judging people who get Botox in their 30s. If you feel that you need that, then all the more power to you. But it was just the way that this girl was talking to me about it. It didn't seem like it was a choice in the matter. It seemed like she was projecting. It seemed like she was making it seem like everybody should get Botox when they get to their 30s, because apparently just it's so bad when you hit your 30s. But I just don't feel that way. But I mean, when you keep doing what's best for yourself and therefore you're doing what's best for everyone else around you as well, you don't need to be thinking about things like that. Just think about how you can enjoy your life, because you work so hard to get here. When you get to 30, that's 3 decades. You've lived 3 decades. That's so cool! You've lived 3 decades. You went through your childhood. You went through your teenagehood, your adolescence. You went through your fucking 20s and you made it. Oh, you made it. I'm so excited for it because I made it. I feel like your 20s is just such a difficult time. And I know I'm probably going to be making this video again when I get close to my 40s, and we'll see what I have to say about that. But that's another thing. I never felt like I could call myself a woman. I've always felt like a girl, you know, like that maturity in the word woman. I haven't really felt like I had that. Like for a while, like in my younger 20s, even up until recently, I didn't feel like I could call myself a woman. I am, you know, like biologically a woman. I am a woman by like all the definitions, right? But I didn't feel that maturity that comes with that word. I didn't feel that. But now I do. And I'm so happy. And I'm excited to express that part of me. Like my womanhood is here. Maybe it's different for other people. I could totally see that. But for me, my womanhood is finally here. Like I have blossomed into this beautiful woman who's had these experiences. I've lived 3 decades and I've had so many different lives, for me at least, and I'm just excited for my 30s because damn, that was my 20s? Bitch, my 20s I thought was gonna be let me explain this. The things that I experienced in my 20s, I thought that was going to be the things I would experience in a lifetime. And it was just my 20s. No one told me I was gonna feel like this. Everyone told me the opposite. Everyone told me that being in your 20s is or not being in your 30s is like, it's a hard time because you feel like you've wasted your life and you feel like things are over. But I don't know, it feels like a beginning to me. Going to my 30s, it feels like a beginning. It feels like being in my 30s is a beginning. And this is why I say live selfishly in your 20s. Live your life in general, in all of your years, obviously. But in your 20s, it's a very special time. It's a very niche time in your life to go out and pursue your passion. This feeling right now, this feeling of almost euphoria, of excitement, entering or like coming close to my 30s is something that I feel that I've earned on so many levels, but also because I lived for myself in my 20s. And I'm not saying that loosely. I'm not using that loosely because I was a people pleaser for the longest time in my life. I was doing things for other people, and like I just said, I would always try to prove other people wrong about something I didn't even care about half the time. The things I exposed myself to, the people I dealt with, like the abuse I went through, I didn't have to do that. I could have left, but I was still trying to prove other people wrong, and I was still in some weird shape, way, or form, like people pleasing. So I don't use those words lightly about living for yourself. But if you can manage to like learn the lesson to live for yourself in your 20s and then like apply that lesson, you will have, I feel like you'll have the same feeling that I have right now as I come near my 30s, because I am just a whole new person. I've experienced my 20s, in my opinion, at my fullest capacity, while also learning the lessons I needed to learn. I've done a lot and I'm happy, and it worked out. I am a firm believer of this, so I'm gonna say it, but I'll obviously take it with a grain of salt. If you're doing what you want to do, it'll work out. If you're doing the things that are true to you, that make you happy, right? It will work out. You have to believe in yourself. You have to not believe it. You have to know that you deserve this success, that you deserve to be able to live your life this way. If you listen to what other people say to you, and if you let it affect you, if you let it affect your decisions, you're never going to be happy. You're going to always be feeling like something is missing, and it's because you're not doing things for yourself. You're doing things for other people, whether you know it or not. So just remember that. It will work out. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. I promise you, you are wiser than you know. You are wiser than you know. Your gut is wiser than you realize. Trust yourself. Child, some hair fell down my leg and it felt like a whole spider. Yeah, I just want to talk about how the Chiron thing kind of popped up recently, and how I'm really proud of how I dealt with that and how quickly I spotted it, how quickly I kind of like fixed that, because I'm not that person anymore. And I feel like I was tested, you know, recently in that respect, where I was put in a situation where I was either going to do what I've been doing in the past, or I was going to realize I'm not the same person I was back then, so why would I continue to do this? I want to document how I feel right now, because I feel good. I feel excited. I feel proud. I feel ready, and I feel fresh. It's like I went through like a pit of unexpectedness, a pit of chaos. That's what 20s is, for me at least. My 20s was for me. It was a pit of chaos. I couldn't predict anything. So much crazy shit happened. So many things happened. And now that I'm on the other side and I look back at it, I feel reborn a little bit. That's kind of a weird word to use. I feel like I gained the wisdom that I needed, and now I'm gonna embark on this new part of my life, and I'm excited for it. And I'm so happy that I feel this way about it. I'm so happy that I'm not having those fears that I was previously, where I was worried that, well, what everyone else worries about, that like my time is up to pursue my passions and to do things that I want to do. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel if anything, I feel even more inspired to go for it, because I'm about to, you know, be like, I lived 3 decades. 3 decades. And like, that's amazing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like this video. Let's go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you here. I do a lot on here. I can't attest to my consistency. However, there's a good amount of content on here to keep you busy. So just know that. If you want to see more of me, or if you want to see this Instagram photos that I'm going to post, because I have my outfit on, if you want to see all that, then go ahead and follow me on Instagram, which is upset_avocados. You can follow me on TikTok, which is also upset_avocados. Or you can follow me on Twitter, which is LivviesTV. So, yeah. I haven't talked on camera in a while, and I just forget how tongue-tied I get. I already have like a minor stutter, but it just be coming out so much when I haven't filmed in a while. So, yeah. Okay, if you like this... Oh, yeah, no, that's it. No, I already did my outro. Okay.